If you're currently building an email list for your business, but you're really struggling to get your email subscribers to actually open their emails, then your email subject lines might be the issue. So at the moment on my own email list, I've currently got around 6,000 active subscribers, and I've been consistently achieving open rates of between 45 and 50% for my emails. That means 45 to 50% of my subscribers are actually opening each one of my emails. And in terms of industry averages, I would say that that is pretty high. And there are a lot of different factors at play here, such as the quality of your list to begin with, the content that you're putting out regularly and the quality of that. But also one of the main things that actually gets people to open your emails in the first place is your email subject line. And I feel like what a lot of people do when they're starting out with an email list is they put a lot of effort into the email content itself and worrying about the quality of that, and then spend like 10 seconds when it comes to writing their email subject line, when actually the email subject line is so important that you really do want to be spending extra time on this. As a caveat to that, it is obviously important that your content within your email actually upholds the quality of your email subject line. Remember that opening the email is just step one of what you want your subscribers to do. You then want to create engaging content, create a nice design that's appealing for people to read through. Flowdesk is the email marketing software that I use because it creates beautiful, amazing and intuitive email newsletter designs and has loads of other features as well. But I'll leave some more information about that in the description. So I wanted to share with you some tips for writing a good subject line. The main thing that you really want to achieve is to make it enticing and encouraging people to click to find out more. So you want to create some kind of feeling of intrigue or mystery, or just be unexpected so that people are wondering what's next. And I'm going to give you some examples in a moment of my best performing email subject lines and why I think they've performed so well. The other thing that you can do in your subject lines is be personal. You can use things like people's names if you're using an email software that allows you to have that kind of personalization feature. Flowdesk does have this feature, which can be really powerful because in your inbox, if you see your name there within the subject line, then you're definitely more likely to click it and open it. You do want to use this sparingly. Don't use it in every single email that you're sending out because it can get repetitive, but every now and then it can be really effective. Another thing which is more of a don't do rather than a do is not to try and trick people or be too clickbaity. And what I mean by that is saying something bold in the email subject line, or something that maybe incites fear into people or triggers a stress reaction so that they feel like they have to click to understand what's coming next. And then the actual email doesn't match up to that. And you don't want to use like fear-based tactics either, because it can just leave people coming away with a general negative feeling about your brand. One example that I've seen of this is a company that creates privacy policy templates and things like that for websites. They sent an email out to their subscribers and their customers once where the subject line read, "You'll get $1 million fine," or something along those lines. And of course, if you see that land in your inbox, you're going to have a fear, stress reaction and be like, oh my God, what is this? Click on it. And then inside the email, it was just a couple of lines of text, which was basically saying that someone in some country did get $1 million fine for not having their thing set up correctly. And if you don't want this to happen to you, you should click this link. Yes, that email subject line probably got well over 50% of their audience to click and open the email. But what it also did was leave a really bad taste in my mouth. It put me off using them as a customer as well. So just be really careful with not being too clickbaity with it. That's the only way I can really describe it. So I'm just opening up a spreadsheet where I personally track all of my email subject lines and the open rates that they've got and the subscribers that I've sent to. This is something I talk about a lot more in my email marketing with Flowdesk course, where there's a whole lesson about how to write subject lines and how to put this together so you can keep track of everything as well. But I just wanted to read you out 5 of the top email subject lines that I've sent out this year that have received the most opens. So the best open rate I've got this year was 54%, and that was to 6,200 people. And the subject line was shutting down ... Now, the reason why I think this worked is because you could potentially read that and think that I was saying shutting down my business or shutting down emotionally or shutting down. There's a lot of different ways that you could read that, and it toes the line very carefully with the creating the intrigue and getting people to wonder, what actually do I mean by shutting down? And what it actually meant in the content of the email was me giving tips for creating a shutdown routine to help you make a clear boundary between when you're working at your desk from home and then having your actual home life. So it was 100% relevant to the email subject line. There's no kind of trickery involved there. It doesn't leave an icky feeling, but it did definitely toe the line of making people wonder what I actually meant by that statement. My second best performing subject line, which got 51% open rate for 6,200 people again, was "This will be a challenge," with an exclamation mark and the embarrassed face emoji. And I think the reason for this is obviously people were wondering what the challenge was. I've said this will be a challenge, but I haven't specified what it is. So it creates, again, that intrigue. People want to know. They've asked themselves, what is this challenge? And so they're going to click it. The third most popular subject line I used this year was 3 ideas that changed my outlook on life. And that received 49% open rate with 5,700 people. Changing the outlook of your life is quite a big statement, which is why that's performed quite well. Like, everyone wants to be their best self. Everyone loves a bit of self-development, especially my target audience. So that was obviously something that's going to intrigue people. Also, giving a number in your email subject line, it's kind of the same when you are writing blog posts, things like that. It's useful to put something like 3 ideas or 5 tips for, because it gives people an idea of what they're actually going to get out of reading this email. It gives them a bit of an outcome. The next best performing one was "Everyone is fed up with Instagram right now, ... And that received 49% open rate for 5,500 email subscribers. And the reason I think this one worked is because it's relatable. So I think people were probably seeing this in their inbox and going, yep, that is true. I'm going to open this and see if I can find some kind of common ground or relatability, because I don't want to be alone in suffering through this difficulty that I'm having with Instagram. And the fifth one that I want to share with you received 48.7% open rate for a list of 5,600 people. And it said, "What are you struggling with right now?" with a question mark. And what I find is questions do tend to perform quite well because it's as if you are speaking to someone. It's also quite a personal question because I have used the word you. It's quite genuine. It's quite, trying to get a personal detail out of them. So I guess that's why that worked quite well. And then within the email, I was basically just asking people to send in their questions that I could cover in my podcast. So I hope that was helpful in terms of giving you an idea of what to look out for when writing your email subject lines, potentially how to structure them. If you like content like this and anything to do with email marketing, I do share a lot of videos on that topic, so do be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week with another video.